It can only be attributable to human error.
He meddled in things that you people. He meddled in things. He meddled in things.
Where will we go next? Just phantom from another time.
No one, Mr. Mulder.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
That is one big pile of shit.
Hi, I'm Alex Kaiju.
I'm Jasmine With.
I'm Eli Watson.
And I'm Stephen Myers.
And you're listening to
Cryptid.
Campfire.
Woo!
Woohoo! Ooh, that was that. Ooh, a lot of high energy going into today's episode. I'm telling you. We're here and we're ready. It's Cryptic Campfire of Ask Me Hardies. We're the scourge of the podcast world, and we're taking over.
Yes. Yes. But what are we talking about today, guys?
Summer bummer.
It is a summer bummer today. So, as you guys may know, we are coming down off of the Champ series we just covered. I believe last week was the final Champ episode. And today, we are just celebrating our happy summer memories with you all. With you all.
Yeah, we figured it'd be fun because, it's August now when this episode is going to be coming out. Kind of like the middle of summer. Everybody's going to be taking time off in, the most creative and best ways we can during a pandemic. So we figured it would be fun to kind of just reminisce and talk about some nostalgic stories. Some of us have been to summer camps in the past, and we were kind of wanting to do like a summer camp look back type deal. So I've gathered some stories from my previous years at summer camp that I want to share with you guys, and it's going to be kind of a laid back conversation where we just, reminisce.
And feel free to share your summer camp stories with us. Go ahead.
Yeah, we will pause at random times and let you answer back.
It'll be like Dora the Explorer.
That sounds like a great time.
I think this is a great time for me to admit that I've never been to a summer camp.
Doggy, what now?
Record scratch?
That's okay, though, because you've still enjoyed summer, right? I mean, you told us before we started recording what you usually spend most of your summers doing, and I think it's pretty on theme for the podcast.
What? No. Yeah. So, as Jasmine alluded to, I spent a lot of my summers going through cryptid phases where I would incessantly scour the internet for every unreliable source on cryptids I could find. The crazier, the better. It was fun. That's mostly what I did.
And that's how Eli has spent his summer every single year of his life.
Well, I don't. Yeah.
That's how you spend every weekend of your life researching for Cryptic Campfire.
I know, right? It's like every week is a summer vacation for me. I did go out and do stuff, but I'm sure I will think of some exciting encounters as you guys share your stories.
You made movies and stuff, right?
Yeah, but
During the summers?
what's funny about that though is I really only made movies during the school year.
Like the school year?
Yeah, because all my friends were little posers, and they're like, I'm going to the beach. And I'm like, what about movies?
What about the magic of cinema?
That's hilarious. But as soon as summer rolls around, you're like, it's time to get down to brass tacks. Patty, where you at?
No, it wasn't even like that. Like you said, I mean, as I got older, I started making movies and stuff, especially during high school. But, dude, nothing. All my homies didn't want to hang out over summer, so movies didn't happen. So I just resorted back to conspiracy theories and cryptids. I remember one year I got really into giants. like really into them. One time I cried over it. I'll just put that out on the air. I did. I was like, this is nuts. No one knows what's happening.
About giants?
About giants, yeah. And like just the cover up of giants and all that. I mean, I'm sure we'll cover it in an episode down the line, but I know we discussed it during the alien human hybrid episode, which is not a good episode.
They've been trying to warn us, dude. Jack the Giant Slayer, BFG, Colossal.
Yeah, right. All of them.
Billy Crystal in My Giant.
What is it? Twins with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and they're thinking about making a Twins 2 to where it's triplets and it's Eddie Murphy is the long lost twin.
That's hilarious. Cool.
Well, good night, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, right. I mean, feel free to jump in, guys.
Well, when I originally pitched like the idea for this episode, I was like, yeah, we can talk about like our favorite summer camp memories because we're cryptid campfire in the woods and reminisce and get nostalgic and happy and
Get
then
crunk.
I started. What was that?
Yeah, get crunk.
Then I started gathering my stories and I realized most of my memorable summer camp moments are actually embarrassing or pretty dramatic, but I figured I'd still share them anyway.
That's the best kind.
So I did go to a summer camp for about 8 years in a row. It was my church's summer camp back in Ohio, and I went from 2008 to 2015, starting as a camper. When I graduated high school, I kind of transitioned into being a leader/counselor. And my first summer there was actually quite miserable because I had no real friends yet. But over the years, I became closer with the people in the youth group and on the staff, so I had a lot more fun. So I guess I'll just kick it off with, the way that we introduced ourselves when we were at camp, because I kind of wanted to throw a question out to you guys. One of the things that we used to do at my camp was on the first night, we would introduce all of the leaders and camp counselors on stage. We'd stand behind like a backlit projection screen. And so it would like be our silhouette that was showing. And we would dance to our song of choice while someone with a microphone made up some false random fact about us, like, she likes to sniff dog food. It's Jasmine With. And then I'd walk out while Pop by NSYNC was playing.
Whoa.
So what's the best smelling dog food?
So what's what?
The best smelling dog food.
Oh gosh, I would have to consult my research. I don't have that answer off the top of my head.
You don't remember it?
It's a controversial answer because we know the methods of their manufacturing aren't that humane, but it's pedigree.
So the question that I wanted to ask you guys was like, picture we're at a summer camp. Here we are out in the woods. Cryptid Campfire Summer Camp. We've got the powers of technology. The campers, our listeners, want to know your vibe if they're meeting you for the first time. So, what song are you making your entrance to?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Hold on. I gotta make sure I quote it right.
Nice. I think I know what mine would be.
What would it be? Let's set the stage. It's the lights go out. Someone's got the light up on the stage. There's a fog machine going off a little bit. And now, hailing from parts unknown, your camp counselor, Stephen James Myers.
It would probably be "It's Oh So Quiet" by Bjork.
Ooh.
Oh, I know how that one goes. It goes. Right?
Dude, yeah, that's pretty succinct
Pretty
for the
spot
people
on.
out there that have not heard this song before. Oh, but it's like a jazzy show number tune. So I would definitely just like come up with some cool choreography Do some of that, maybe working a couple knee slides here and there.
Knee slides. Nice.
Hey, man. A well-placed knee slide will get you far.
It's true. It's true.
What about you guys?
I would go out with Jack Daniels, If You Please, by David Allan Coe. Just kidding. I mean, yes, that's the best answer I have at the moment. And it's a wonderful song. And it
Yeah,
seems
what-
like a song I would walk out to.
Is it a
What-
boot scoot boogie?
I don't know. It's more on the honky tonk side than a boogie.
What's the vibe you want to tell the kids about yourself?
Jack Daniels, If You Please, Bring Me to My Knees.
What else do you need to know? That's pretty cool.
What about you, Amex?
Oh yeah, I would say off the top of my head, you know, the stage gets, the lights dim, hey everyone, come to the stage. Your camp counselor, Alex Daikaiju, and then Minnie the Moocher starts playing. I kind of do that slow Cab Calloway walkout in a white tuxedo. I got the full 14-piece band behind me, going off on the trumpets and the saxophones. I got my Blues Brothers shades on. I do this whole song and dance, and then I got a cigarette in my mouth too to be cool.
That's
Yeah.
not camp appropriate.
This is like 1980s camp.
Hey, it's an herbal cigarette.
I say, don't smoke, kids. Drinking will get you way farther. And then I do my whole song and dance. Then I hop on a motorcycle. I roar out of the auditorium and I flick the cigarette off, and it lights a big AD out in the field with burning oil.
Nice, dude.
That's
Yeah, and I
absolute-
just want the kids to know, I want the kids to know, like, don't talk to me during the summer. I'm just here to like get a paycheck. I'm kidding, but that would be pretty funny.
I agree.
Yeah. Music was a big thing when I was at camp.
Wait.
We were out in the woods in a park on a campground. We went to 3 different campgrounds in the 8 years that I was camping. In one of the years back in 2010, I didn't see this in person. It happened in the boys' dorm, but there was video evidence that appeared on Facebook the week after we got back from camp, and we could hear what was happening in the moment, but we couldn't see because obviously girls weren't allowed in the boys' dorm here at camp. But we heard crazy EDM music blasting from their cabin, and we could see like shadows moving back and forth through the
Wait.
window.
So you're saying... Okay, wait. Finish your story.
And so we heard this music and stuff, and we figured that they were like having some kind of dance party. And then when the video came out on Facebook, we all cracked up because what had happened in that dorm, in that cabin, was all of the guys had taken their shirts off and were swinging them around above their head while dancing and like marching in a giant circle around the perimeter of the cabin while listening to this EDM music.
This was allowed?
Yeah, this was allowed. Some of the counselors were even a part of it. Some of the leaders.
Whoa, that's like an ancient cannibalistic ritual, dude. EDM music with your shirts off.
I was gonna say that they're doing like some like pagan ritual to like renew the harvest crops for the next year.
And
So-
they had no idea. It was right under their noses.
And all this to say, Jasmine is gonna walk out to Darude Sandstorm.
Dude!
Oh,
No, you were.
Oh,
It's
did I?
crazy. No, you
Just-
didn't ruin it. No. You're good. You're fine. But the next part of the story that I was going to tell was the next year. So 2010 is when the boys had their dorm room rave. And then 2011, the next year, they decided to bring the rave to the mess hall so that everybody could take part. And one of the songs that was played that night was Sandstorm.
Do-do-do-do-do.
amazing.
Do.
Yeah, dude, and the music video has people doing like flips on the stairs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. The other song that we went hard to that night was Every Time We Touch by Cascada.
Cause every time we touch, I feel the static.
Do.
That one still bangs.
It does. That was the night that we all the campers and all the counselors we stayed up really late that night because we were hyped, on the music, and we had just had our late night snack, which was most likely filled with sugar, and we had this idea that we would do a flash mob the next day because we were to go to an indoor water park called Kalahari, and we were like, "Oh my god, you guys, we should do a flash mob at the water park." We were like, "Yeah, let's do it."
What
We
is
tried.
that?
Huh?
Yeah, hold on. There's like this weird static coming from someone's end.
The same night that we, partied to that song was also the night that we decided to stay up late because we were convinced that we were going to set up a successful flash mob. We had this idea that we were going to, break out into a flash mob because we were scheduled to go to an indoor water park called Kalahari the next day. So we were hyped up on all of the sugary snacks that we had just eaten as our midnight snack and whatever. And everybody was in the mess hall. And we were like, "Yeah, guys, we should make a flash mob. And, we should start singing at the water park. And it'll be so cool. And we'll go viral and whatever." Because that makes sense because people have their phones on them at a water park. But that didn't happen because nobody was committed enough to sing Baby by Justin Bieber in public, and it ended up being too loud at the water park anyway, so it didn't happen, but we were convinced. We were like, "Yes, this is happening." And then we gave up 5 minutes later.
Hey,
Just
man.
play the regular song. Yeah?
What?
You said nobody wanted to sing the song?
Yeah, nobody wanted to sing the song. We didn't have a way to play it because we were going to be at the water park, and it was
Oh.
too loud anyways, but
Gotta go buy a boombox.
yeah. We got to be more prepared next time, that's all.
Never
You
mind.
guys should have done a flash mob of Jack Daniels, please.
No. No. I don't know. Could you imagine? Dude? That's not the song to do a flash mob to. It just wouldn't work.
Hey, maybe your puny little mind needs to crack it open, okay? Maybe it's the most perfect flash mob song.
You never know, I guess.
And we'll find out tonight. It turns out Stefan is tonight's biggest loser, and he has to do a flash mob up.
Could I do a flash mob alone? Like in Grand Central Station dancing like a maniac by myself. It's being televised.
Well, you fit right in there because everyone else is probably dancing to their own beat too.
Wait, so Jasmine, did you actually pick Pop by NSYNC, or did they pick it?
Okay, there's actually a funny story behind that. I desperately wanted my intro song to be Chainsaw by Family Force 5. And
Okay.
everybody was so against it because everyone just hated that song. Like everyone thought it was cringy. So they were like, "No, just do something else, but like NSYNC or something." And I was like, "Fine, do Pop by NSYNC." So it wasn't my first choice,
It's
but
still a good.
it was still a good one. It was still relevant, but they really did not want me to enter with Chainsaw by Family Force 5. Have you guys
For
heard that
sure,
song?
You gotta go. I haven't heard that one, I don't think, but I used to listen to their older stuff.
Oh my gosh, Chainsaw
Like, dude, dance right.
it is ridiculous, but it's so fun. And I've watched the music video multiple times. It's got a whole dance to it. Like it's got choreography. I wanted to do it. They really shot me down.
Maybe next time.
Darn, dude, that sucks. One time I did choreography for Man, I Feel Like a Woman by
Oh?
Shania Twain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it for a contest in my high school, and I dressed up like a woman. I went out in front of the entire high school and danced to Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and I won.
But why
Nice.
is this? My initial question is, why is this just being brought up now?
Because
Because it's the special summer episode.
it's
Step
the
in.
special summer episode, yeah.
Been keeping secrets, bro.
Is there evidence of this event?
You know, I used to have a video of it, but I think it's gone now.
Stop. No
I'm
way.
not joking. I'm not
Check
joking.
the cloud.
No, it's not on the cloud. It was on my hard drive, which has broken.
I know
And-
that feeling.
Yes, so I know exactly where it was and where it is now trapped. It's trapped on there, and people want like $1,000+ to fix it. So unless I get rich one day and I can just drop $1,000 on fixing an old hard drive, it may never see the light of day.
This is where you come in, listeners. If you help us raise the funds, we can save Eli's hard drive, and we too can all see the video.
Yeah.
The high school contest.
We can kill two birds with one stone. We could see the man. It feels good to be a woman or whatever. I forget what the title is.
Man,
And-
I feel like a woman.
Man, I am a woman. I don't know.
Man, I am a woman.
But we could see this. If you donate, you could see this, and we could get the Bodette tape, bro.
Right? I was just gonna say, do we have to prioritize Eli as Shania Twain or, the Bodette film? Which one's more important?
Let's
Eli.
go both.
Yeah, mine's certainly cheaper.
Yeah. So the
And you know
GoFundMe
what?
goal is $11,000.
Ooh, never mind. $11,000?
Yeah, because the Bodette is $10,000, right?
Yeah, I'm accepting no less than 20, dude. Go big or go
Oh.
home.
Oh. Well, I just did the grand for getting your thing fixed. But if there's an additional fee, I might have to up the goal.
Oh,
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne.
whoa, Jason Statham.
Could you say Jason Voorhees because it's the summer camp edition?
Oh, you know what? That's a great movie. Jason Statham was in The Meg, which we've talked about on the show.
Mhm.
And I saw that in IMAX 3D all by myself one summer not too long ago. There you go. That's what I did
Summer.
one summer.
Nice, yeah. I never went to any summer camps, like quote unquote summer camps with like counselors and like
Why not?
cabins and everything. But because all mine were like scout camps, so we would like go set up
Right.
tents like in the wilderness,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
and then yeah. So every summer we pretty much had a variation of the same thing. But one summer we went whitewater rafting in Utah.
Ooh.
And that was a lot of fun. But every camp out was like a week, so we would like sail down the Colorado on our little rafts, and then like pull off on the side, stay the night, keep going. Wake up the next day, like get our stuff together, go more down the river. But they always used to say you could tell if you got sunburned by if the water was making you shiver. And I started shivering one time, but like it just like sneaks up on you. It doesn't ever feel like you get sunburned, but then you start to get like really cold when you're chilling in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was good. Yeah, that was a good time.
When you went rafting, was it like calm waters or was it like dangerous waters?
They're not dangerous, but they're like, they're like the waves are lapping and everything, and you gotta like paddle with a partner. It was a lot of fun. I'd like to go back. That was like 8th grade, 9th grade.
Nice.
Yeah, and then there was one camp out we did with a bunch of different groups of scouts. Like it was like a big network, and we did this 100-mile like week-long camp out where we would hike like 10 miles one day and like bike a few miles, and like we'd get to the destination by the end of the week, and that was like 100 miles, like quote unquote exactly. So that was fun. It was just a lot of boys riding bikes and like messing around. I punched my first person that camp. That was crazy.
Dang.
You got
Throwing
tell us that
hands.
story.
Like we used to steal, because there was obviously like we obviously, since we're kids, we don't have to worry about breakfast or anything. That's the adults' job. We can obviously help in the morning when we wake up, but like it's not initially our responsibility to set everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So we would sneak into the little parts of like the tubs where they would have like the Kool-Aid powder and stuff, the little packets to put in our water bottles, and we used to sneak a bunch of those and just eat them plain. And I don't know, have you guys ever done that?
You want to eat Kool-Aid packets?
Yeah, or just like, you know, like those little thin packets that you put in your water. You like
Oh.
eat it plain. It like it stings like crazy.
I can imagine.
Yeah, there might have.
And then it tastes
It's
really
like
good.
dehydrated,
But like
right?
the
And it starts
initial,
sucking the,
it's like the
the
initial
moisture
thrill. That's
out.
why all of us would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, there might have been a time in my life when I was in middle school or junior high. I can't remember. It was one of the two, and there was there was an issue that had to be addressed by our school staff. An assembly was called because they were unhappy with us for doing transactions where children would go home and, you know, mix these Kool-Aid packets and sugar and other, you know, sour like candies together, bring them in little baggies and sell them to each other, and we called it Happy Crack.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, dang.
I never participated.
Jasmine's checkered past comes to light.
Yeah.
I get
Let
it
me see.
now.
I got to see your permanent record.
Jasmine, are you on
What?
Happy Crack now?
No, I wish.
Oh.
She's chocolate wasted.
I did eat a chocolate bar today. I did eat a chocolate bar. Trader Joe's has these really good chocolate bars that have like a cookie inside of the chocolate bar.
Oh, I
dang.
knew it. I could smell it through the mic.
Like a round cookie inside a rectangular chocolate bar?
No, I can go get the wrapper if you. I can't remember what it's called. It's
Oh, okay.
square and it breaks
okay.
off into little smaller blocks, but it's got like a. It's not like a Kit. It's kind of like a Kit Kat, but the cookie is thicker. The wafer is thicker, and it's got like chocolate cream in it.
Oof. You guys
a lot.
remember It's Sugar?
Yeah, at City Walk.
Yeah, right. Yeah. They had chocolate covered Oreos.
Nice.
Detrimental.
It is detrimental. I remember I would go get some and then go watch movies.
Oh, no.
Absolutely. That was always the spot to hit up because they had dark chocolate covered things.
Oh, dude, they had so much, dude.
You got like dark chocolate honeycomb, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
You know-
the stuff.
I was going to ask, it's funny you guys are talking about, you know, like eating the straight sugar, like the Kool-Aid packets and stuff. I don't know if they still make them, but do you guys remember it used to be a candy where it was like 3 packets of like red, green, and blue sugar, and you got
Fun
like
Dip.
this Fun
Yes,
Dip.
Fun
Yeah.
Dip,
Do they still make
yes.
that? And it's
I
like
don't
the
think
weird
so.
chalk bone that you like lick and stick
Yeah.
down. And, oh yeah,
I'm sure those
It's-
still exist.
yeah, because it's just straight sugar. It's insane. And
A Fun
in
Dip?
hindsight now,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, those
Dude.
things are crazy. That
And then
literally
that-
is like the Kool-Aid powder.
Yeah, and then that gross chalk thing would get nasty after a while and
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
horrifying.
like really start contemplating your life when you look at the words on the side of the stick and they're almost like eroded off all the way and you're like, what am I doing with myself?
You know,
Yeah.
we had a snack. What is the word? Concession stand, snack shop. What did we call it? There was a
Snack
word that
bar?
we used at snack bar. Snack bar is the one. We had a snack bar at my summer camps, and it would be like candy and chips and gum and Gatorade and pop / soda, whatever your preference is on that word. And it was crazy because, you know, kids would go wild. One of the things they were instructed to bring with them in their camp luggage was, you know, cash for the snack bar. You know, the recommended amount was $5, but people would come in with 20s, and we had to put limits on the amount of snack items that kids could buy because they'd try to clean us out. And so there was like a 3-item limit every day until the last day of camp when everybody tried to like use up their cash and just started stocking their to-go
Like
bags.
this cash isn't good after camp.
I know.
It's everything must go south, south, south.
This
Stuff
money's
I
no
think
good.
stuff did get
I-
cheaper on the last day.
I did find wholesale here 48 pack of Fun Dip candy for $7.98, which means the next 48 people to order t-shirts get free Fun Dip.
Oh snap! You better make that a promise if you're not, unless you're not gonna actually buy it. Wait, that sentence didn't make sense.
It doesn't have to. It's summertime, baby. We left school a long time ago.
Yeah. I do remember a kind of funny story, if I may share, from my summers.
Sure.
So I live in a more rural area of California, or I grew up there. It is known as Temecula, California. It still exists.
Now it's known as New Temecula.
New Temecula. So yeah, I lived like right next to a nature preserve. Like people would ride horses out there and stuff. My dad had a golf cart that was like souped up. It was pretty sick, honestly. Probably go about 20 miles an hour. With it was raised, so it kind of looked like a monster truck. It was spray painted orange. It was like the sickest thing ever. And both my parents were gone. They had gone to Maui for about a week. And I thought I was going to be cool and go with my brother and go as far as we could with the golf cart, which didn't go very far because we started going up this hill. And so the dirt is like weird. It's very kind of like loose dirt. It's dry dirt. So when it rains, you get these big old crevices in the dirt. And so we were going up this hill, following these paths, and there's this big old crevice in the middle of the road. And so I drove around it and we kept going. And I can't remember why. I was probably 12 or 13. I can't remember why. We ended up turning back. We probably ran into the fence that's there. And so we started turning around. And I forgot all about the crevice and drove straight into it.
Oh,
Yeah, dude. And we were like stuck sideways. We were not going to get out of there. There was no way we could have like pulled ourselves out of that. No way. I mean, the golf cart was stuck, not us. We got out just fine. But I was like, holy crap, I don't know what to do. I couldn't get my dad because obviously he was in Hawaii. And I was like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, and so I went to the neighbor's house. So my dad was close friends with the grandfather of a girl that I went to elementary school with, who happened to live in the same neighborhood as me. His name was JD, and boy, was that guy funny, man. But I was like, he's the only guy who can help me. And so they had like a gate, and you needed to put in the code to get in the gate. And I was like, I don't know the code, so I just hopped the fence. You know, I was like 12 or 13, and they knew me, so like whatever, you know. And so I went up to him. I'll never he was like, how you doing, buddy? And I was like, the golf cart's stuck. And he was like, don't worry, I'll get it out for you. And so he like got his tractor, pulled it out for us, and I was like, yes, thank you. And like there was no cosmetic damage, so I was like, yes, I'm not gonna get in trouble. Lo and behold, the first day when my dad gets back from Maui, he's like, so what's this I heard about from JD that you guys got the golf cart stuck?
Busted.
Yeah. I don't remember what happened after that. But
Well, it must not have been too traumatizing if you don't remember.
no, but you know what was traumatizing?
Hmm.
Oh, yes. So one summer, I think it was the summer of 2012, I got really into the Lego Lord of the Rings line that had come out. And I ordered this one set, and it was like supposed to come, and I was an impatient child at the time, so I was like, I'm gonna check the mailbox every day. And so, because we live off of a dirt road, the mailboxes are at the end of the road and not by our house. Just because it's too difficult, like if it rains or something, the USPS trucks will get stuck. Like it's no good. So I would take the golf cart out to go check the mail. And so one day, me and my brother went to go check the mail, and we ran around this corner, and like by pure accident, we just like drifted like super sick. We were like, oh, it was amazing. Went to check the
Fast and
mail.
Furious.
Yeah, dude. There was nothing in the mail. I was like super disappointed, but that curve was coming up, so I was like, I'm gonna make up for it right now by drifting again. But I turned too sharply and the whole thing flipped. As I mentioned before, it was lifted. So the center of gravity was like not very low to the ground at all. It flew into the air. I remember seeing my brother just launch. Like he
Oh no.
flew. Yeah, he landed like on his hands and knees, right? And so did I. And I was on my hands and knees for about a second, and then the golf cart landed straight on my lower back.
Oh!
Yeah, and I was stuck. I was like, I'm stuck. And like Joey's gonna have to go back and get somebody before I can like it landed sideways on top of me. It was
Oh
like
no.
yeah, dude. So it wasn't like a tire or something that landed on top of me. It was literally sideways. So the side of the golf cart was on my lower back. And I was like, I would like tried to call out for Joey. That's my little brother. And like, I couldn't breathe and
Oh
like
no.
nothing was coming out. And he was just like crying and freaking out because he was like, what, 10, 9? Like he was a little kid, you know? And I was like, I might die. And then I don't know what happened, but out of the corner of my eye, I just saw a tire like coming. And I was like, I need to lay down flat. And I laid down flat, and miraculously, the golf cart just flipped over and landed on its tires. And we were able to drive home. But I still have a scar on my knee to this day from that. Yeah, dude, that was pretty brutal. I was pretty traumatized for a little bit after that.
Yeah, Jesus.
Dang.
Yeah, I
That's
can't believe I
crazy.
forgot all about that.
Until today.
Well, do you guys want to hear one of my embarrassing stories? Because you told two about crashing a golf cart, basically.
Yes, both
uh,
times. One almost killed me.
That's terrifying. I have
Yeah.
something slightly less dangerous, but still just as embarrassing. So, let me find it here. So, in 2009, this was my second year being a camper at this summer camp. And as I mentioned briefly before, our camp has been hosted at 3 different campgrounds over the 8 years that I attended. And one of those campgrounds had like playground equipment. There was like a little park that had swings and slides and stuff. And it also had one of those arches that you can climb. I don't know how to describe it besides that, but if you like Google playground arch, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like a rainbow with just like bars that you climb from one end of the arch to the other or whatever. Um, it wasn't very tall or anything like that. Like I was taller than this arch, but I want to like sit at the top of it and just chill for a little bit. So I climbed up and I sat there on the top and kind of just hung out for a little bit. You know, it was free time. Everybody was just hanging out on the playground, doing whatever we want. And when I decided to jump off, because again, it wasn't very high up off the ground, it wasn't like a dangerous jump or anything like that. I just wanted to get off. Um, my back pocket got caught on one of the bolts, which caused me to hang from my butt for a few seconds before my own body weight and gravity decided to just shred a giant hole in the back of my shorts.
Oop.
So
Amazing.
then I landed face first in the mulch and had to have somebody shield my backside while I shuffled to the dorm to change my pants.
Whoa. Ooh,
That-
scandalous.
Yeah, people were talking about that one for the next couple of days. And I kept the shorts for a while because I was like sentimental about it. I was like, haha, let me keep these. That way whenever I look at them, I can think about that time I ripped my pants. But
Just
I
like
don't think
SpongeBob.
exactly. I don't think I have them anymore. I think I did get rid of them at one point. So
Oh man, that reminds me of another story that I'm not gonna share.
okay.
Alex, tell us some of yours, bro.
Ooh.
Yeah,
All right.
Alex.
Well, I can tell you guys a couple fun stories. This is I'll tell you guys this. I remember, I want to say I was in elementary school, and my school offered like a summer camp type thing to where the parents would drop the kids off during the day for summer and then get picked up for, I think that was like for a couple weeks, like in the mid-June or so. And I remember I was there, and I was probably like, I don't know, 7, 8, second grade or so. And I had always thought summer was a year long as a kid. So
Incredible.
so I thought you went to school for a year and then you got a whole year off because summer seemed like it went on forever.
That's funny.
And I just remember saying that, and somebody was like, "No, it's not." I was like, "Oh, it's like a year because it's so long. Like, I haven't seen I don't see my friends in a long time. We don't do anything. I don't do school, so it's like a year." And they're like, "No, it's only 2 months." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm learning time, and I'm slowly wasting away." I can feel my skin drying as we talk. So that's when I learned the existential crisis as a 7-year-old.
There we go. No better time to learn.
And then I remember, and then when I was probably like in my teens, like 11, 12, 13, I remember I went to a summer camp that was at, I think it was like Thousand Oaks camping grounds or something. And I remember one night it was pizza night because like they're like, "Oh, hey guys, we're pizza. You get 2 slices each. It's like a Friday night usually."
Nice.
And I was hanging out with my friend, and they had Tabasco sauce on the table, and he had put some on his pizza. And I as a kid growing up, I always hated anything that was like remotely spicy. Hated it. It was just like I can't do it. I can't do spicy food. And then that summer, I was like, oh, what the hell? I was like 12 or so. Like, I'll try some Tabasco. And then I realized how amazing hot sauce was.
Heck yeah,
There
it was
we
your
go.
awakening.
Oh, it was. And then from then on, I just like putting Tabasco sauce on everything for a while.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I'm glad you figured that out. I'm glad you got that sorted.
Oh, yeah. And I remember, since we're talking about summer, I remember at the end of every school year, like on the last day of school, like in elementary school, we would do like a potluck. So everyone would bring in an item,
Mm-hmm.
and chips, cupcakes. People would bring in all kinds of stuff. I remember it was probably in 7th grade, so I was going to go into 8th grade. Somebody brought guacamole, and growing up, I was never a big fan of guacamole because it's green. Like, it looks gross. I don't want to eat it.
For sure.
And that day, I was like, oh, you know what? I'll try some guacamole. And it was like some of the best guacamole I've ever had.
Nice.
Whoa.
And that's how I learned my love. So it was like probably around the same time I learned my love of guacamole and my love of Tabasco hot sauce.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a
Those
lot
are
of
2 pivotal moments.
Yeah.
There's a couple foods that I associate strictly with summer because, pizza was a staple for us as well during summer. Not camp, but just at home. Uh a lot of my times during the summer at home back in Ohio were spent over at my grandpa's house because he had an in-ground pool, which was the spot to hang out with your friends and have like parties and stuff. And I actually would celebrate my birthday. My November birthday would be celebrated in like July or August so that I could have a pool party and we would order pizza. We would eat Klondike bars. That's like important.
Yes.
And then I don't know if this is just an Ohio thing, but there's a It might be. There's a company called Lawson's who makes a chip dip that comes in like a white and purple container. If you Google,
No idea.
the only reason I remember the name is because I Googled purple chip dip container and it actually popped up. So there's people out there looking for it. Oh my gosh, you guys, our dog just came in to join me. Hi, Mickey. He's coming in to join the podcast.
Woohoo.
But no, there's like certain foods that I associate with the summer, and
Jasmine, what? What
What?
were you into?
What?
Lawson's chip dip French onion?
Yeah.
What in tarnation?
Have you never had
Never
that?
had French onion dip?
No.
Dude, you're
What?
missing out.
No.
Yeah,
Dude.
shit's good.
I don't know, dude. It's just like straight white, dude. I don't
No,
know.
actually,
shit
It looks
is
like
good.
sour
Yeah.
Listen,
cream.
I didn't come here to get criticized for my
I'm
food
not-
taste. I
I'm just
came here
saying.
to share summertime memories.
But then you took it too far, Jasmine.
Well, it is actually kind of depressing because my grandpa, he filled in the pool a few years ago. So the pool doesn't exist, which is really
French
sad.
onion
for
dip?
me. Huh?
Filled
French
the pool
onion
with
dip?
French onion dip?
No, the swimming pool of water. He decided that it was too much work to take care of, and I'm not a kid anymore. My brother's not a kid anymore, and we can't really visit as often as we used to. But I do have a piece of memorabilia to remember it by when they were filling in the pool, like tearing out the foundation and filling it in. My grandpa cut off a piece of the pool lining to give to me. There's a square of pool lining that I have framed in my hometown bedroom as a memory. It was
Huh.
heartbreaking.
Wait,
Ooh, that sounds rough.
I'm sorry.
Are you just apologizing for my sadness?
Yeah.
No, it's
Oh.
okay.
I will tell this one thing that happened to me. It was not a summer camp, but it's the closest thing I ever got to a summer camp. It was during a field trip. I was in 6th grade. The whole 6th grade at my school went to Rawhide Ranch, which is in Fallbrook, California. It was like straight up cowboy town, like stuff I would love now, which I will put on the record. I have not always loved cowboy stuff. In fact, for the majority of my life, I thought cowboys were boring. And now I'm just like, what a fool I was. But anyway, that was like the first time I ever rode a horse. And of course, they're like, oh, this is the horse that never listens to anybody, so we're going to put you on it. And of course, like, it like scarred me because it like didn't do the things like, oh, walk, and then it wouldn't walk, or if it did walk, it would start running.
It's like a Harry Potter moment where it just like magically loved you so much and like listened to your every command, and you guys were like bonded forever.
Quite the opposite. I'm pretty sure that horse hated me.
Wow.
But the funny story is, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot this. So they put us in these like cute little teepees or whatever, like boys were separated from the girls, obviously. And so I was in this teepee with like 6 other guys, and one of my homies, Jacob, and he went to the bathroom, right? And he comes back a couple minutes later, sock in hand, right? And it looks like there's like some gunk on the sock, and he's like, guys, there's shit on the floor.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And we're all like, what? He's like, yeah, but it's not only on the floor, it's on the wall. And we were like, what? He's like, yeah. And I just stepped right in it.
Did you find the culprit?
I did not find out. I had my theories. But this guy, man, I can't remember his name, but I remember him for being really, really aggressive, and he was there on every single field trip, and I never liked him because he was always really mean. But he got all the guys together in a room. It was like a church, I think, and it's got those pews or whatever. So we were all in there, and he's like, "This is not a laughing matter, so no one laughed, but someone pooped all over the boys' bathroom," and so all of us were like, like trying not to laugh, and then he was like, "You need to put your head between your legs. If you did it, raise your hand. No one else is gonna know." And like, I don't know if this dude was like military or what, like I don't know, but we had to put our heads down in between our legs, and whoever did it raised their hand, and then they let us all go all at the same time, so we didn't know who did it, but we all had our theories that it was a guy named Josh because he was
somebody named Josh.
I know a guy named Josh, and I'll let you finish, but keep going.
Yeah, but like basically he was just like a sloppy dude, and we're all like, dude, it was Josh who like pooped all over the bathroom.
Now, do you think it was intentional or do you think it was accidental?
No, we were talking about it, and we all thought it was accidental. We thought maybe homeboy got the runs, ran to the bathroom, and pulled down his pants, but that like unleashed the floodgates. So he started spewing before he sat down. That's why it got on the walls and on the floor, and he was just too ashamed to tell anyone.
I hate that we're talking about poop, but would you believe me if I told you something similar happened twice at my camp?
Oh my.
Explosive diarrhea?
So one year, nobody stepped in it, but it caused quite a commotion when one of our campers came out of the bathroom and started telling everybody that there was poop on the floor. And that someone had tried to cover it up by, covering it with toilet paper, which made us pretty much know for sure that it had been an accident, Like, if it was intentional and someone was trying to be, gross about it, they probably wouldn't have covered it. So it was a very sensitive topic because we did have some campers who, did have some issues and some physical disabilities, and so we were like, guys, stop talking about it. Like, if it was this person, then you're gonna make them feel really bad about themselves because they didn't do it on purpose. But it caused quite the commotion, and so that happened one year, and then another year that was pretty towards the end of my time at this camp, because I attended camp for the last year in 2015, and then I moved to California in 2016. And I can't remember exactly which year this happened, but it was one of my last years. There was a mess in one of the toilets in the girls' bathroom. Like, saying it was clogged is an understatement because it was literally heaping with stained toilet paper.
Oh,
and
no.
Tragic.
I know that I'm so sorry to all of our listeners who are like eating right now or something like that.
We gotta put a trigger warning.
What's funny is I wanted to tell this story. Like, I like gathered this information in my mind and I was like, I should tell the poop stories. And then I was like, no, that's too gross. But then Eli told his and I was like, okay, it's my turn. But in this recent year with this toilet that was just like heaping, I was like, I was a counselor this year. I was like, what the frick am I gonna do? Like, what am I supposed to do? So what we ended up doing was we cleared all of the girls out of the bathroom to make sure that nobody was using it. And I brought in two of my guy counselor friends. I was like, guys, I need your help. And they were like, what? And I'm like, you just have to see it. And so we brought them in and everybody was like, how does this even happen? What is going on here? But there was this like whole operation and the guys like wore trash bags because one of them had to like go in the toilet and just scoop everything up into a trash bag. And if you guys really want to see it, there actually is a video of this on my Facebook. This is for just the guys because I don't. Sorry guys, I don't add listeners on my Facebook page. I'm sorry. This is like private information. But
No
if
worries.
you guys go to my Facebook, you can see the video and see how the guys reacted. It's really funny, but it is again really gross.
I can safely say that I don't know if I'll ever go into your Facebook ever again, Jess. Knowing
Well,
that
you're not gonna come
I
across
can't
it
risk it.
accidentally. You just have to search for it if you really want to watch
you
it.
reshare it every week.
No, I don't.
Yeah, what is it? Time hop?
Yeah. I think the reason I
that's
thought of it is
horrifying.
because Facebook memories, now is the time. Like this month and last month are the months that I would usually be at camp. And maybe that's why I'm thinking about it. Maybe it did pop up on my memories. You're lucky I haven't shared it.
Nice. That Facebook thing freaks me out, dude. I don't want to be reminded about stuff that I did 6 years ago.
I do. It's how I reminisce, but it's also when I hide things because of interactions with people that I don't talk to anymore or people that I don't like or don't want to be reminded of. It's like, oh, I'm going to delete this now so that I never have to see it again.
Truly, history is written by the victor.
Do you guys want to hear a slightly disturbing and kind of sad story about camp? What we've said so far has been fun and lighthearted and kind of gross, but this one is a little more heavy. But I feel like I have to tell it because I need you to understand how we felt in this moment. So.
Uh-oh, Jasmine, did you kill a person?
No, but you're close. 2009 is the year, and I was at camp as a camper. I was still young enough. I wasn't a counselor yet, and a lot of us didn't have smartphones yet in 2009. I didn't even have a cell phone at this time. Some of us were still working with flip phones and whatnot. The iPhone did exist, but none of us really had it yet. And when we were at camp, we were kind of encouraged to stay off of them anyways, enjoy nature, enjoy community, don't be on your phone, that kind of stuff. And one night we had a guest speaker come. So again, reminder, this is church camp that I'm at. So we had a guest speaker come. And to be honest, I don't even remember what his message was at night. I don't even remember what he was talking about. I don't know what his point was. I just remember that he inserted a comment that caught all of us off guard. And none of us were able to focus for the rest of the night. He was talking, preaching, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, blah, 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 blah. I mean, Michael Jackson died today, blah, 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 blah. And we were all like, wait, what?
What?
I'm sorry. Hold on. What did he just say? And we all kind of had this smirk, this confused, we all started looking at each other. All the campers were swiveling their heads, looking at their neighbors, is he joking? Did we miss something? So nobody was able to pay attention for the rest of the night because we were like, hold up. Did Michael Jackson really die? And then when the service was over, the people who did have their phones or did have internet access or was able to call someone, we found out that yes, Michael Jackson really had passed away that day. And the news was broken to us so casually at our church camp. And we were like, what? So that's pretty vivid.
Wild.
That's heavy, man.
Yeah, you're like, good riddance.
He didn't know. He assumed that we knew. But he didn't realize that we weren't connected to the outside world, really. We were
right.
at camp having a good time, and
Jeez.
he just comes in and just makes it like a passing comment, in the middle of his message of talking about how crazy the world was or something like that and how life is unexpected and blah, blah, blah. And he's I mean, Michael Jackson died today. And we were like, what?
Michael Jackson, dude.
Oh, no.
R.I.P.
Captain EO, baby.
Captain EO. I'm still bummed they pulled it.
They had to. You gotta keep the
No,
mystery
all they do is
surrounding
play
it.
Star Wars catch-up reruns now, dude.
That's all you need. Well, technically they're not even open, right?
Well, I guess not now, but when I was there, they were just using that room to play Star Wars highlights.
What? Weird. Whack.
It is whack, dude. Bring EO back or bring the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience back. Damn it.
You tell him, Stefan.
Yeah, you tell him.
Tell that mouse.
Do you guys have any summer traditions? I know we've kind of like talked about how we go on certain trips or go to certain camps, but like, are there any kind of like, oh, well, we have to do this activity or we have to go to this place that you have?
No,
I used
I
to go
wish
to
I did.
Newport back when I was like growing up. That was our summer, like our dead set summer plan every year. Like even if we didn't do anything else, like we'd for sure go to Newport and like chill. There was this restaurant I used to go to all the time called Spoons. I haven't been in a while.
What
Good
kind of food
eating.
was it?
Just had, like burgers and stuff. It's just like a diner type restaurant.
Nice.
But,
When I was,
good.
yeah, it's good.
go ahead, Alex.
Sorry, what?
I was gonna say one of the classic things that my family would do, not every summer, but we did it for, I want to say, probably like maybe 3, 4 in a row, was there's this place up north called Kern County, and it's like more kind of in the kind of like a like Big Bear, it's kind of more up in the mountains. You can rent cabins out there,
Sure.
and we would rent a cabin, and for like like maybe like a week or so, and we drive up, and my mom would make care packages for us for in the car.
Nice.
So it'd be like a little activity box of like coloring books or like a random like Lego toy, like stickers.
That's so
she'd
cool.
she'd buy me and my brother a Goosebumps book every time, so we could
Yo,
read it up
nice.
during the week.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so we go up there, and then it was like a little cabin where it had like there's like a bed, there was a fold-out couch that we would sleep on. It had like a little kitchen, they had a pool, and so every night, like we'd cook or barbecue. But then one night or 2 nights a week, we'd go out into the town they had, and there was a little pizza parlor, and that place is awesome because you walk in, they had a little arcade area, and they had a Terminator 2 pinball machine. And it had like the all the Terminators on it, and every few seconds it would loop like the top scores. It'd have like a little sound bite of "I'll be back," and then have like a little
Amazing.
8-bit Arnold head, and then it would say, because it was made in the '90s, so it said, "Don't do drugs."
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I always think about sometimes this summer, is like our little family vacations, like this little renting a little cabin and kind of just hanging out and going for walks, and it was a nice little place. They had like you could go like rafting and stuff.
That's cute.
That's cool.
Yes, dude. Dare to keep kids off drugs, and I dare you to stop me.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
gosh.
used to one of the classic situations one would find oneself in summer in Arizona growing up is that it's super hot outside. So the mission of every day as a kid during the summer is to figure something out to try and keep cool. And I was never like a huge video game guy, so my best friends and I that lived near me, we would always just try and go see a movie or go hang out at the mall inside or whatever. But we used to go to this junior high school with a public pool, and that would always be like popping off during the summer, and they would have
Nice.
like lifeguards and all that jazz.
Mhm.
But I used to get a big hunk at the snack bar all the time. It's
What's a
kind of
big
weird.
hunk?
I don't know why. It's like just like a big slab of nougat.
Ugh.
Ooh,
Yeah, look it up. Maybe I can.
hunky indeed.
Can I put it in the chat? Let me find. Let me see it.
Nougat.
Yeah, put it. But yeah, I've got a lot of memories at that high dive at that place.
Oh hell
I used to train there during like the dive team during the summer, and I did a 1.5 off the high dive once, and I belly flopped, bro. Swear.
Oh.
I felt like I was gonna throw up. They told me to take a
Oh.
lap, and I'm like 10 years old or whatever, just like I'm like holding onto the edge, just like shivering, like.
You're like turning blue.
Yeah, that hurts so bad.
Oh man.
It's already like nerve-wracking to like try to do it 1.5 on a high dive because I've never done one on there before. So the timing is a little bit different. You got to rotate a little slower. Oh, or I guess in my case a little faster. I thought I would have to go slower, but I definitely should have probably just went the same speed.
Right.
Summer.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, well, if you're gonna make a comment about that, you should go first because I'm transitioning.
No, go for it.
I was so summer weather in Ohio varies because, Ohio. So it often includes rain in the summer. And in 2010, it rained so much while we were at camp that our camp flooded. Um there was never a camp that didn't include chaos. And this one in 2010, we actually weren't at the camp all day that day. This was the day that we went to the water park. So we were gone. Nobody was at the campground. And when we came back, there was like a couple inches of water in every building. The girls' dorm, the boys' dorm, the mess hall. There was like an inch or two of water, which, doesn't sound like a lot, but it's kind of a big deal when all of your indoor buildings have like water on the floor. And so most of us were still in our like bathing suits with our towels wrapped around our bodies, and we all just had to start picking things up and making sure that stuff wasn't going to get damaged, like all of our personal belongings in the dorm and all of the equipment in the mess hall. Everything ended up being fine, but the moment was wild. Like, we were like, our camp is literally flooding. Like, what are we going to do?
Dang. You guys went to the water park, came home, and the water park followed you?
I know. It's so ironic and stupid. Like, we went to spend the day at the water park, and it was an indoor water park. So it's not like our activities were ruined. If it were an outdoor water park, it would just kind of be like pointless because it's dumb to go to a water park on a day that it's raining. But I mean, we got back and we were like, what is life? What is happening?
Dang, dude, that sucks, man.
That's wild.
It was one of our, because nothing really got damaged, it was one of those things where everybody just laughed at it afterwards. And even 10 years later, people are like, hey, remember the year camp flooded? Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
You're like, no.
We did also have...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, we did also have a kind of tradition at camp. This was after I had been initiated as a youth leader and I was no longer a camper, It was a big deal. I found out that the camp counselors and leaders on the last night of camp would often stay up all night in the mess hall. And so one of the years, I think I only accomplished the task. Like, I only ever pulled one full all-nighter, but there was one year where we were in the mess hall, we were playing games, eating snacks. We had gone up there after all of our campers had gone to sleep. So we left them in the cabins and came up to the mess hall, and we were just acting ridiculous. And this is where lots of inside jokes were born. But one year, when some of us, couldn't stay strong enough and just couldn't make it throughout the night without sleeping, instead of going back to our cabins, we decided to actually sleep in the mess hall. So it wasn't really a prank per se, but the camp director and the head staff were quite entertained when they walked in for their early morning meeting and we were all sprawled out over tables and floor.
They're like, what the hell happened in here? Who's watching the camp?
Yeah. Nobody was watching the campers. Kind of irresponsible, but I mean, like, what's really gonna happen?
Dude, you ever seen, any summer camp horror movies?
No, but I kind of want to watch them. Is it? What movies? Okay, I always get horror movie titles mixed up. So Halloween is Michael Myers, Nightmare is Freddy. Jason Voorhees is what?
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Are those considered summer camp movies? Summer camp horror movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least the first few actually take place
Yeah,
like
some
on a
of them
camp
have
during
counselors. Yeah.
summer. The first like 3, and then they start like drifting away, and it just happens like sometimes at the camp, sometimes in the forest. Well, at one point he goes to New York.
Huh. Yeah. He goes to hell.
Oh yeah.
Oh dang.
We did try to creep our campers out in the early years when I was a camper at one of the campgrounds. The original campground that I used to go to, there was a legend that people tried to tell us that there were lantern people who lived in the forest. I wish I could remember what the origin story was, but I do not remember. All I know is they tried to freak us out and say that if we looked out our cabin windows at night, we would see people walking through the woods with lanterns. And it had everybody on edge.
Dang, well, yeah, that's stuff that would have gotten me on edge as a little child.
And
It,
mind you, this was a church camp. And the leaders are like, yeah, guys, there's crazy people out there, lantern people. They're going to get you if you don't, stay in bed at night. Now that I think about it, it makes sense. It was a way to get the kids to stay in the cabin at night.
Did it work?
For some. I mean, there was always drama. There was always rambunctious ones. I mean,
Especially
there's
in the
plenty
bathroom.
of yeah, there's plenty of stories I could tell that weren't so great from summer camps over the 8 years that I attended, but that's not for today.
That's for part 2.
Coming
Summer
at
bummer,
you.
endless summer bummer.
Endless summer bummer. Dude,
Huh?
forget it. It's not important.
I will say one of my just it's funny when I think back on summer camp, because I think I probably went like 2-3 years, but it all kind of runs together when I think about it, like all the years.
Yeah.
But the church the camp I went to was also part of like a youth group for a church. I remember they would always have like different themes, and one year was like a 50s theme. So they broke everyone up into groups, and it's like, oh, the greasers, and um, they took a bunch of references from like Grease, and they had that
Yeah.
themed around it. But I remember one year they had one was an Austin Powers parody
Oh God.
where it was Austin Flowers,
Oh.
and he was like, just so they had it set up towards it's Austin Flowers, secret international man of mystery, and he's like a hippie. They had instead of Doctor Evil, it was Doctor Steeple. And
Like a
he
church
had,
Oh my god.
yeah, and he had the guy came out on his knees, and he was Micro Me.
Oh my gosh.
And then they had the evil sidekick. Her name was Ivana Shop a Lot.
Jesus.
And
Dude.
and my
Make
and
it
my
stop.
and my favorite one ever. And this is crazy because like just thinking about it, it's like it's insane because it was like a church group, church camp, but they had the character come out called Fat Pastor,
Oh.
and just the
That's
fact that
funny.
it's like it's funny, but it's just like what a reference to like go over like a bunch of like 12-year-old heads.
Dude, church camp references like that are great because stuff like that happened when I was in camp too. My friend and I, we did this thing for a couple years where we would write parody songs and we would take like a stupid rap song and like change the lyrics to be church or camp related. So one year we actually wrote a parody to I'm on a boat by the Lonely Island and we made it I'm off the boat, talking about Peter stepping off the boat. Oh my god. It is one of my proudest moments. We also did a parody to Friday by Rebecca Black a different year.
Nice.
Because Friday was the last day of camp, so it would be like Friday, going home on Friday, and then everybody's looking forward to their own bed, because we had those crappy bunks in the cabin. Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
That's cool.
Friday.
Everybody get down. It's Friday. Right? That's on beat.
We could talk about summer forever.
We could.
And we shall. Tune in, everybody. It's gonna be 6 hours.
Oh no! Please make it stop!
No, I think I've actually told all of the stories that I wanted to tell today. As Stefan said, we could go on forever about summer memories, but I've already told all the ones that I had written down for today. You know, the ones that stick out in my mind the most.
Yes. As have I.
What about you, Stefan? Are you all drained out too?
I think so. I didn't talk about feet melting on cement during the summer, but now
Ooh.
I have. So there we go.
Wait, what?
Like
Your
the
feet?
cement. No, the cement is so hot back in AZ. It doesn't like actually, but if you could probably get like a minor burn if you like stayed on it for too long.
That's wild.
It hurts very badly. Like
I
we would
bet,
be slipping, like slip and sliding in my yard, and then we'd have to like obviously get back in line with everybody. And the cement is so hot, so you're just like hopping around on like 1 foot at a time, like.
Ooh, yeah, ooh.
I think the same year that our campground flooded was the same year that people were passing out from the heat, which is just so dumb. Like, how is it going to be so hot? People are passing out one day and then rain so much that the camp gets flooded the next. But there was a year where like health concerns were pretty rampant because people were like outside playing games and then just passing out in the grass from like dehydration and the heat. It was wild.
That is pretty wild. Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Heat stroke, serious biz.
Gotta remember the
Dehydration. Drink your
sunscreen.
Wawa.
Yeah. Stay hydrated. This is a threat.
Oh, what? No.
Have you seen that meme? It's like the
This is a
picture of
threat?
this bear, but like yeah. It's a picture of like a bear, but he's like sitting all hunched over, and he's like someone like flattened the image, so he's like super fat looking. And it's just a bear saying, "Stay hydrated. This is a threat."
No, I haven't seen that.
He's Smokey the Bear's evil brother.
Wow.
H2O Bear.
And if I want to know more about Smokey the Bear's evil brother from the master himself, Alex Daikaiju, how can I go about this? Just to confirm, we are done, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I think we've reached the end, my friend.
But I didn't talk about the boating incident of 2011.
The boating incident where you accidentally shot a piece of your foot off?
No.
Yeah.
My whole foot.
Ah!
Oh.
Yeah, if you want to find me on, you can find me online at Instagram and Twitter at Alex Daikaiju. That's Alex Daikaiju. Instagram, usually post pictures of monster-related art, and my Twitter I don't do too much with, so don't expect too much. And my sources today was my own memories, and they say it's better to burn out than fade away, but with a spirit that'll never burn away. It's Jasmine May with.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, although I'll be honest, I haven't really been on those very much either right now. There's a lot going on social media, and it's kind of overwhelming, but I do check in every now and again. My name is the same on both. It's Jasmine Maywith, JasmineMaewith. And yeah, today's sources, memory, Facebook memories, and old YouTube videos of the camp video compilations that I used to make when I was also a media tech at the church.
Oh,
Amazing.
dope.
Huh.
And now, broadcasting live from a dumpy little building in Culver City, Stefan FM. All Stefan, all the time. Tell them about yourself.
You see, we're a non-profit organization dedicated. I'm just kidding.
Dedicated to collecting funds for Stephen James Myers.
But you can find me on Instagram. I almost said find me on Amazon. Ugh,
Dude, are you one of those Amazon influencers?
yucky. Yuck. You can no, I'm not. You can find me on Instagram at MyersSteffen. That's MyersSteffen. And for my sources, I use that weird Inception briefcase to like hook everyone in my apartment up to my dream, and I just made them relive these memories with me. But I woke up, but I tricked them into thinking it was my dream the whole time, but it was actually Aiden's dream. So they're still sleeping.
No, help. Stefan keeps spinning.
That's too much Inception for me.
Yeah, you can cut all that out, dude.
No way. And he's not an Inception man. He's more of a Bram Stoker's Dracula man. Eli Watson.
Oh, hello. You can find me on the interwebs at the Eli Watson and Twitter. I am actively trying to get away from social media because why do I want to spend time on social media anyway? Anyways,
how can I be on social?
Yes.
How am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to be on social media when I'm social distancing?
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
The best way to reach us will be the following methods. Instagram, Facebook,
www.
No. Instagram, Facebook.
.com/goosebumps.
What the hell are you talking about? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Cryptid Campfire. We're on all of them. Go check us out. Feel free to DM, tweet, Facebook us.
Ooh, like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're on YouTube as well. So go check that out. And we have some cool videos on there. And we're actually compiling all of Jasmine's videos that she talked about during this episode into a work of art that will be released on our channel.
It's gonna be this mega compilation of horrible camp stories with Rebecca Black's Friday playing in the background.
No.
Yes, and I'll throw in my video where I'm dancing like Shania Twain.
Yes, we do need that.
We need all of it. Anyways, and you can order your fancy Cryptid Campfire t-shirts from www.cryptidcampfire.com. We got some snazzy new shirts now. We got black ones. We got red ones. We got blue ones. We got yellow ones. We got a bunch of them.
Redfish,
somebody
two
call
fish,
a doctor.
one fish, two fish.
Call a doctors. And then you can also check us out on the Patreon, where if you feel like giving us a little bit of extra money, you can get access to exclusive episodes, early access to regular episodes, so you'll get them Sunday nights instead of Tuesday nights, or mornings, I should say. You get access to once a month. Our very own Alex Daikaiju will do a one-of-a-kind wallpaper exclusive to the Patreon listeners.
Woohoo.
And we're working on getting more to you.
Oh, yeah. So come on, everybody, enter the pool. It's summertime.
Yeah, guys, we're going to be taking a little bit of a summer hiatus, but keep an eye on our social media, which will be updated for when we're going to be back with new episodes.
Whoa. Yes. 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 All right.
Too aggressive.
Take care.
Goodbye, everyone.
Happy summer.
Happy summer.
trails.
Yes, and please tell us your stories now. We're listening.
Yeah.
This podcast is a part of Straight Up Strange Productions. Discover more shows like this one at Straight Up Strange.